$20. That's what it cost to manufacture the M3 grease gun in 1944. The Thompson submachine gun? $200. 10 times cheaper. And the M3 outlasted everything. Tank crews were still using them in 1991 during Desert Storm. 47 years of frontline service. The M1 Garand retired in 1957. The bar disappeared in the 60s. The Thompson was obsolete by Korea. But the ugly, cheap stamped steel grease gun kept going. Tank crews demanded it. Special operations forces requested it. The weapon everyone mocked in 1943 became the weapon nobody wanted to give up. Here's how the cheapest gun America ever made became the longest lasting. December 1942. The U.S. Army needed to replace the Thompson submachine gun urgently. Too expensive, too heavy, too slow to manufacture. George Hyde, a gun designer, and General Motors, a car company, had 8 months to create a replacement. The result looked industrial rather than military, hence the nickname grease gun. The prototype emerged in December 1942, exactly when needed. Testing began immediately. The design was shockingly simple. Stamped steel receiver, minimal parts count, robust construction. It weighed less than the Thompson. It cost a fraction of the Thompson's price. And crucially, it worked. Military acceptance came in December 1943. Production ramped up rapidly. Guide Lamp Division could manufacture the M3 using the same stamping presses and welding equipment they used for automotive components. No specialized firearms manufacturing equipment required. This was the entire point, converting existing industrial capacity to weapons production without retooling. By war's end, approximately 700,000 cubic meters and M3A1 submachine guns had been produced. This sounds like a lot until you compare it to Thompson production numbers exceeding 1.5 million. The M3 arrived late in the war. Most frontline troops in Europe and the Pacific still carried Thompsons. But those who received the M3 discovered something surprising. It worked exceptionally well. The M3 was a blowback-operated submachine gun chambered in .45 ACP. This was the same cartridge used by the Thompson and the M1911 pistol, simplifying logistics. Weight was approximately 8 pounds loaded with a 30-round magazine. Compare this to the Thompson's 10.8 pounds loaded, a significant difference when you're carrying it all day. The construction method defined the weapon. Stamping takes seconds. Machining takes hours. This single design decision reduced manufacturing time dramatically. Rate of fire was approximately 450 rounds per minute. This was deliberately slow, slower than most contemporary submachine guns. Slow firing has advantages: better control, improved accuracy, reduced ammunition consumption. In close quarters combat, controllability matters more than volume of fire. The stock was a retractable wire frame. The sights were basic: a fixed front blade and flip-up rear aperture. Effective range was listed as 100 yards, though practical combat range was shorter. Submachine guns are close-quarters weapons, and the M3 didn't pretend otherwise. The M3 arrived in combat theaters during late 1944. Initial soldier reaction was skeptical. It looked cheap. It felt cheap. Soldiers accustomed to the Thompson's machined steel and walnut furniture saw stamped metal and wire stocks. Many assumed it would be inferior. Combat proved them wrong. The M3 functioned reliably in conditions that would compromise more sophisticated weapons. Mud, sand, rain, snow. The simple design kept working. Fewer parts meant fewer things that could break. The loose tolerances that made it look crude also made it tolerant of debris and fouling. Tank crews became the M3's biggest advocates. Armored vehicle interiors are cramped. Long weapons are impractical. The Thompson was already difficult to maneuver inside a tank. The M3, with its compact size and retractable stock, was perfect. More importantly, tank crews needed weapons that would fire after sitting in a vibrating, dirty, oil-contaminated environment for days or weeks. The M3 delivered. The European theater provided extensive testing. American forces advancing through France and Germany used M3s alongside Thompsons. Side-by-side comparison was inevitable. Soldiers noted the M3's lighter weight during extended movements. They appreciated the controllability during room clearing. The slow rate of fire, initially criticized, proved advantageous. Less ammunition wasted, more precise fire. Pacific theater conditions were brutal. Heat, humidity, saltwater exposure, jungle vegetation. Sophisticated firearms struggled. The M3's simple construction made it relatively impervious. Soldiers learned to trust it because it consistently functioned when needed. Korea saw extensive M3 use. By this point, Most Thompsons had been phased out or relegated to reserve units. The M3 became the standard American submachine gun. Winter combat in Korea was horrific. Temperatures dropped to -30 degrees Fahrenheit. Lubricants froze. Complex mechanisms failed. The M3 kept working because there wasn't much to freeze. Vietnam brought new challenges. Jungle fighting, river crossings, monsoons, extreme heat. The M3 served primarily with vehicle crews and special operations units. Its reliability in adverse conditions remained its selling point. While M16 rifles garnered headlines for reliability problems, the M3 quietly kept functioning. The most telling evidence of the M3's effectiveness came from its longevity. Military organizations ruthlessly discard ineffective equipment. Inadequate weapons get replaced quickly. The M3 wasn't just retained, it was preferred. The M3's service life is unprecedented. Introduced in 1943, it remained in active service until 1991, 48 years. Most firearms become obsolete in decades. The M3 lasted nearly half a century because it was good enough and nothing substantially better existed for its specific roles. Desert Storm marked its final major combat deployment. Official retirement came in 1992, but retirement is misleading. Reserve and National Guard units retained M3s for years afterward. Some remained in armory stockpiles into the 2000s. When a weapon keeps appearing decades after official retirement, it indicates genuine value. The cost factor proved prophetic. That $20 production cost meant the military could afford to manufacture massive quantities. When cheaper guns work as well as expensive guns, you buy the cheaper guns. The M3 proved that expensive doesn't mean better and cheap doesn't mean inferior. Modern submachine gun design shows M3 influence. Contemporary weapons like the Uzi and MAC-10 used similar stamping and welding construction techniques. The M3 demonstrated that firearms could be manufactured using industrial processes rather than traditional gunsmithing. This democratized weapons production and changed how militaries approached small arms acquisition. The M3 never achieved the Thompson's fame. It didn't appear in gangster movies. It wasn't romanticized in popular culture. But soldiers who carried both overwhelmingly preferred the M3 for practical reasons: weight, reliability, and ease of use. Professional soldiers care about function, not aesthetics. The most significant legacy is philosophical. The M3 proved that pragmatic engineering beats elegant design when function is paramount. It demonstrated that expensive isn't synonymous with effective. It showed that simple, robust construction creates longevity. These lessons apply beyond firearms, their fundamental engineering principles validated through half a century of combat service. The M16 entered service in the 1960s with significant reliability problems that required years to resolve. The M3 entered service in 1943 and just worked. No major modifications needed. No reliability improvements required. The original design was sufficient. Desert Storm provided the perfect finale. A weapon designed before most soldiers' parents were born, serving alongside GPS-guided missiles and thermal imaging systems, still performing its job effectively. That's not nostalgia, that's engineering excellence validated across 5 decades of changing warfare. The M3 reminds us that sometimes the best solution is the simplest one. That cheap can mean smart rather than inferior. That longevity comes from getting fundamentals right rather than adding sophistication. These lessons transcend firearms. They apply to any engineering challenge where reliability and function matter more than appearance and complexity.